Hey guys! Hey guys. Hello. I don't know how to do this. Welcome to Sunday nights at Center Youth Group. Even though we can't be in person together this week or next week or the week after that or the week after that or the week after that. Honestly, who knows when we're gonna meet again. So because we can't meet again in person, every Sunday night at 7 o'clock, we're gonna upload a video, we're gonna talk, we're gonna share some fun things, we're gonna share about what we learned in the last week, and we're gonna give away some stuff. Prizes! So you'll wanna hang out until the end to figure out exactly what that entails. I also wanted to ask how you guys are doing because I know this has been a crazy week. School got canceled for the rest of the semester, and for a lot of you that might be really disappointing as you're missing out on some sports and time with friends, and if you're a senior, you're missing out on your last couple weeks as a high schooler, and it's just kind of a bummer. Like, I understand there's a lot of exciting things about it, and it's starting to get really nice out, and it's fun to not be in class all day every day, but it also is kind of sad. So I just wanted you to know that we're praying for you and praying that in the middle of the weirdness of it, that you would somehow find joy in what's all happening, and most importantly, that you are staying safe and not licking flagpoles and only hugging your dog. You're always welcome to hug your dog. Dogs can get coronavirus, and that's how I know God is real. So in my original video, I showed you that my plant is in very bad shape. It's right here. His name is Planty, so you can tell he's not doing so well. So I thought maybe over the next couple weeks, since we're gonna be here for a while, we could water Planty together and see if he comes back to life. So I'm gonna start watering him today, and I'll water him every Sunday, and hopefully that will save him. So he's got a bunch of water in him now. This past week, we started a new thing that we're doing, and we're reading through a couple verses in the Bible every week together in this guide called Faith and Fear, where we talk about what it looks like to have faith in God, but then also how do we live when there's scary situations happening in our life, which is kind of the definition of what's happening in our world right now. We went through week 1 this last week called God Overcomes, and we posted the verses every day on our Instagram page, and I also posted the full guide on our bio. Link in bio. I wanted to show you what I did, how I took everything and wrote it all down. So it's on that notebook. Notebooks. Oh, here it is. So I started it, I did week 1, and I did Faith and Fear at the top because that's the name of the guide. And then I did the days, week 1. Obviously you can see I forgot how to write numbers there for a second. Counting is hard. I wrote the scripture, which was in the post, and then I also answered the question. And some of them you can see are longer, some of them are shorter. The most important thing is that you're reading, and if some are longer and some are shorter, that's totally fine. You just answer it how you want to answer it. It's as simple as that. So if this is something that works for you, you can totally do that. I would love to see what you guys are doing. If you're writing things down in your notebooks, or if you're writing them in a phone, or if you're writing them on your walls in your closet, I would recommend that. How about just a notebook or a phone? That's probably best. That's what I would recommend. If you're doing that, let us know and send us a picture, or just text us and let us know you're doing it. There might be something waiting on the other side for you if you do that. Prizes! Talk through for a couple minutes what we learned about this week. I want to read 1 Samuel 17:45 through 49. This is my Bible. It's black, just like my shirt, just like my notebook, just like my chair, and just like my heart. Just kidding. This is a story we probably all know pretty well, and it's the story of David? Clearly quarantine is getting to me. David and Goliath. David's going out to talk to Goliath, this scary giant man. They think he was like 10 feet tall, which is really, really tall. And he says to the giant, to Goliath, "You come against me with sword and spear and javelin, but I come against you in the name of the Lord Almighty, the God of the armies of Israel, whom you have defied. This day the Lord will deliver you into my hands, and I'll strike you down and cut off your head. This very day I will give the carcasses of the Philistine army to the birds and the wild animals, and the whole world will know that there is a God in Israel. All those gathered here will know that it is not by sword or spear that the Lord saves, for the battle is the Lord's, and he will give all of you into our hands. As the Philistine, Goliath, moved closer to attack him, David ran quickly toward the battle line to meet him. Reaching into his bag and taking out a stone, he slung it and struck the Philistine on the forehead. The stone sank into his forehead, and he fell face down into the ground. So David triumphed over the Philistine with a sling and a stone, without a sword in his hand. He struck down the Philistine and killed him. So David isn't a really big guy. David is probably 13, 14, 15, 16 years old, maybe. And he goes out and is told by the Lord that he's going to defeat this giant. Goliath is like 10 feet tall, and David says, I know I'm going to defeat him because I have the Lord on my side. And this is somebody that grown men are terrified of. But David steps in without any fear. He doesn't bring a javelin, he doesn't bring a knife, he doesn't bring like a bow and arrow. He doesn't bring any of those things. What he does is he brings 5 stones, 5 little stones, like ones that we would use to skip across a lake, which I can't do, by the way. I've never really been able to figure it out. I should learn that this week while I'm on quarantine. But he doesn't bring the likely things because he knows that God has called him to do this and that God is going to come through for him. So even though he's the most unlikely person, even though he doesn't have a weapon that's likely, and even though he's going up against the scariest person on earth at the time, he's not afraid because he knows that God's covered him. So our takeaway for this week is that if God can overcome in the most unlikely of situations for David, God can do anything in our lives right now with the giant of the coronavirus just like taking over everything that we're doing. If God can take down Goliath, he can certainly take down what's happening in our lives right now. So when we're talking about in the aspect of faith, continue to have faith that God can do something really, really great in your life and in your friends' lives and in your family's lives throughout these next couple months. And I'm excited to see what God is going to do specifically in your guys' life as you lean more towards faith than you do fear. I hope you guys had a good experience reading through this passage and these passages over the last couple days. And we're going to do this for 5 more weeks. So we're going to do 5 different readings every week for the next 5 weeks. It'll get us through like into the middle of May, and maybe by then we can hang out again. Fingers crossed. All the fingers crossed that I can cross. As you're reading through these verses and as you're journaling and keeping up with them, I feel like you deserve something awesome. So if you are reading every day and you're writing things down, screenshot it and send it to me. Take a picture, send it to me. Just let me know that you're reading. Let me know that you're engaging with it. Let me know what you think about what you're reading. And I would love to bake you what I call Corona cookies. That sounds bad. How about we just call them chocolate chip cookies? Because that's what they are. Coronaless chocolate chip cookies for you. I will bake you cookies and I will drive them to your house and I will leave them at a socially acceptable distance from your home, and we will wave and it will be wonderful, and then I will drive away. Okay guys, well I think that that's it. Thanks for tuning in and for watching and for listening to me talk for the last 10 minutes or so. Feel free to reach out to me or Ashley or John Michael or Danny or John if you ever want to talk, or just tell us how your day was, or tell us something good that happened to you, or if you're struggling and you need somebody to talk to, we're definitely here for that too. Never be afraid to reach out. We're always here for you. We love you, and we'll see you next week.